All right, so as we were told earlier this evening, we get to hear from one of us. And so, give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Kaylin, where are you going? This is your room, not over there, Kaylin. No, I'm joking. I'm just picking at you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for one of us, or actually one of you, Emma, Edgar.
Y'all go home.
Yeah, okay. No, they can't talk before I preach or I'm going to start laughing. So I can't look at them. They can't. Okay. So we all have heard of the cycle, right? Whether it's the water cycle where the rain falls and then it evaporates, then the dew falls and then that evaporates, and eventually when the clouds get full enough, it rains again. Right? There's probably other steps to that, I guess. But science is not my thing. But the point of that is the same thing happens over and over again. Same with a relationship cycle, especially a toxic one, where you two fight, you're good for a while, and then you fight again. But again, the same thing happens over and over again. See, there's a common denominator with both of these cycles. The same thing happens over and over and over again. And that's what I'm here today to talk to you about. Not the water cycle, because again, I'm not good at science, and not a relationship. That's to Scotty. He'll preach about that later, I guess. But I'm here today to talk to you about the school cycle. It's where it comes around every 10 months, or happens every 10 months, because that's when we're in school. And you wake up about 7:30. When do y'all get to school? 8 o'clock? Y'all have to be there at 8?
Yes, we have to be there at 7:30.
Oh, that's awful for y'all. Y'all obviously have to be there at 7:30. Okay, that's new. That's awful.
Yeah.
But you have to be there at 7:30. You sit in class for 7 hours, and then finally the bell rings. The best part of everyone's day, or at least mine. And then you go to practice, band, extracurriculars, friends, and you stay with them for about 4 or 5 hours. And then you get home. And then you have homework to do because you have procrastinated this all day, all week, because you didn't feel like doing the essay that you have to do for college. You didn't feel like doing the worksheet you have to do for math. You just didn't feel like doing the work. And then eventually you go to bed at 1 a.m. because you're all stressed out and you can't fall asleep. Right? Anybody else? No, just me? Don't fall asleep? Okay. But see, just like the other two cycles I mentioned, the same thing happens every day. You get stressed out by school, and so much anxiety is put onto your life because of the school. But see, this whole cycle can stop. All you have to do is give it over to God. But see, there is proof in this in the Bible. I promise there is. It says in 1 Peter 5:7, "Cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you." It's one of the most common verses in the Bible about stress and anxiety. And some people think it says the word cares and not actual anxiety. So they just think, oh, I'm just going to put what I care for on God because he also cares for me. But there's a different version. In the ESV version, it says cast all your anxieties onto God because he cares for you. So again, it says anxieties. That casting your anxieties onto him is how you get the cycle to break. But see, also, words are hard, English. Right? English is very hard. But this is one of the most common verses for anxiety. But it's not the only verse about anxiety, which most people think. I've heard that. People thought, oh, that's the only verse when I was writing this at school. But I was like, no, because it says in Matthew 11:28, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all who are weary and have heavy burdens, and I will give you rest.'" Those he's talking about the heavy burdens of school that you have, of practice that puts anxiety and stress onto your life. Like, am I good enough? Am I the best player on the team? Am I the best person in the band? Am I the best person in theater? Whatever it is. Am I the prettiest in my friend? Whatever the anxiety, the stress is about those things, that's what he wants you to take to him. It says it in red letters. Bring it to me. He's telling you directly, bring those worries and those anxieties to me. So that's all we have to do to break those cycles. Okay, I'm about to give you some really, really sad stats, but they're also very important stats. It is scientifically proven that the generation that we are in now, our generation, has one of the highest depressed and anxiety rates ever. All right? 7.1 kids from 3 to 17 have been doctor diagnosed with anxiety. That's 4.4 million kids in the world today. 3.2% from the same age group have been diagnosed with depression. That's 1.9 million kids. And those are just the teenagers that have been doctor diagnosed. Think about all the kids that haven't been diagnosed. That percent probably goes up 10, 15 times. All right? But here's what else is sad. There's 7.8% of those kids I just talked about are being treated for depression with medicine. 59.3% are being treated for anxiety. And if you're really honest, and I'm about to be really honest, you don't have to raise your hand or anything, just think about it. Who can say they are part of that percent? Not the ones that take the medicine, but who can say they're part of the percent that has anxiety on their life, depression, or stress? I'm part of that percent. I'm even part of the percent that takes medicine for it. And I'm not bashing that. Medicine is amazing for it. It calms me down a lot. But I have never been so calm in my life as when I gave it all to God at an altar one night. I've never been so calm in my life. And see, that's all we have to do is give it all over to God. And that percent can go down drastically if everyone would just give it over to God. See, it doesn't matter who's standing up here giving this message, because this is probably not the first time you've heard this message. Give all your stress, anxiety to God. This is not the first time that you've heard this message. I know Scotty preached on this topic before, but it doesn't matter how many statistics or Bible verses or whoever's standing up here says it. It matters if you actually receive the message, if you actually let it sink in, if you actually learn from it. So, I'm going to give you one more verse. It's Philippians 4:6, one of the most common Bible verses there is. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. It says it right there. Ask Him for what you need. If you need release from anxiety, ask Him. If you need release from stress, ask Him. If you need release from depression, ask Him, and so forth and so forth. All you have to do is ask Him, and He will give it to you because He is a loving and a gracious God that wants to see you happy. He doesn't want to see you down about yourself. He doesn't want to see you have anxiety attacks and panic attacks and whatever else. He doesn't want to see that. He wants to see you happy and joyful and hanging out with your friends without judging yourself based on how they look or how they live their lives. He wants to see you for you. That's it. He just wants to see you for you. And He wants you to give Him everything. Now, that was really short. I know. I didn't plan for it to be that short, but that was really short. So, if everybody will stand up. That was really short, I'm telling you. That was like 5 minutes. Feels like fine arts, but it's not. So, Scotty said he would do this for me, but I'm not going to let him because I just feel like I need to do this. Luke is going to start music here in a second. And when he does that, we're just going to take a minute and just think about the things I have said. The statistics, if you were part of the statistics and you want to give it over to Him. Because, like I said before, it doesn't matter who's standing on this stage. It doesn't matter who's preaching it, how many facts I give you. If you don't receive it, then none of this matters. Then all this preparation, none of this matters. But really, think about it. Are you a part of it? Do you want to actually give it to Him? Do you actually want to receive it? Don't just stand there and say, I'm going to say the prayer that the pastor tells me to repeat, and then we're going to move on with our lives. No. We need to actually mean it. So we're just going to take a second, think about everything. And then we're going to open the altars for whoever wants to come down, pray.